So let me do the evolution chain of computers. You have geeky programmer, and this geeky programmer writes software which is then used by users like you and me. The users run the software. The software uses hardware, such as a CPU, sometimes a printer, sometimes a mouse, sometimes a keyboard. The operating system needs to make sure that this hardware is doing what it's meant to be doing. So it checks to see that the hardware is doing its job properly based on what the software wants it to do. So the programmer makes the software, users run the software, which runs hardware. The operating system checks the hardware to see if it's acting the way it should be based on how it's been programmed by the programmer in the first place. So if you press Control P, you expect it to print out a document. The operating system is something which checks the code to see if it's doing what it's meant to be doing. It's making sure that the printer is getting ready to print that out. It's making sure that the CPU does its job of telling the printer to print it out. What you see in front of you is a programming development tool, such as Python. It's a programming language. And it allows me, as a programmer, to literally write in code which talks to the computer's hardware, like the CPU, like the processor, without actually knowing or needing to know how the CPU works. I don't need to know about fetch, decode, execute. All I need to know is that I want this done, and it's this programming language which actually then runs it for me and talks to the CPU. The operating system, which basically helps run this programming language, will then make sure that my code is executed the way it's meant to. It makes sure that my program is ran properly.